greetings everybody, Gleekon here again with another episode of Lore of Warcraft. We last did a level that was not exactly canon, that was called the Vanguard. So basically you took control of the forces at, I don't know, you could argue that it was Hellfire Citadel, you could argue that it was the people guarding the portal. It's hard to say if they were even guarding which side of the portal, but it seemed to be Hellfire Peninsula. And somewhere in that peninsula, all of the orcs were rushing. And the game said rushing to attack, but really what's happening is as many as they can on this side were rushing to get through the portal to leave once they saw Draenor expanding, or like in the rift. This is a picture that should have did 1 or 2 episodes ago in Chronicles, but it's a kind of neat one of Ner'zhul opening countless portals across Draenor. And his shamans and clan in the background, pretty neat. But yeah, stay a while and listen to this one as we continue to read the Remnants of the Horde. I swear, that the dog, he will not play with it the entire time, and then I'll sit down to make a video, and then all of a sudden he starts squeaking. He's like, it's a psychological thing, he knows. The orcs who had escaped through the dark portal before it closed brought grim tidings to the Horde on Azeroth. Their homeworld was gone. Ner'zhul had sacrificed everyone to save himself and a handful of his loyal followers. It seemed impossible that anyone else could have survived Draenor's destruction. For Chieftain Grommash, this news was devastating. His only surviving family, his son Garrosh, had still been on Draenor in the Mag'har camp, and we did read about that in the novel. Grommash put aside his grief and led his Warsong clan north to take shelter in the isolated Swamp of Sorrows. He was not giving up, he was merely regrouping. Grommash believed that there would never be peace between the orcs and the humans, and he wanted his fighters to be ready for battle. I'm thinking maybe this is setting up for Warcraft 3. The members of the true Horde regarded the news about Draenor as confirmation that they were the rightful successors to Warchief Blackhand's rule. In the years to come, Dalrend and Maim would strengthen their forces. That's true, because they're doing theirs at Blackrock Spire still. Blackrock Mountain. The Dragon Maw and Grim Batal would do much the same. Zulahed and many of their clan, Zulahed the Whacked, returned to Draenor at the end of the Second War, yet with news of their homeworld's destruction, the Dragon Maw and Azeroth believed that their leader was dead. Necros took command over his people. He ordered them to continue lording over Alexstrasza and her red dragons in Grim Batal. Grim Batal being over in the Twilight Highlands. So they're showing that there are little patches of orcs everywhere that could still grow and get strong, and they have dragons. Other members of the Horde saw no reason to keep fighting the Alliance. The noble Mok'Nathal Rexxar believed the rest of his people had perished on Draenor, and he was disgusted by everything that had transpired in recent years. His loyalties were now dust. Rexxar retreated into Azeroth's wilds, and he wandered the world in solitude. And I wonder if there's some quests that go along with Rexxar. I do think in the novel, he's going to be a big part of it. Tucked away in the Alterac Mountains, Drekthar and the Frostwolf clan carved out a new home. They isolated themselves from other orcs in the hopes of escaping the Alliance's wrath. It was a harsh and lonely existence, but it was not without its benefits. Drekthar had, that's the shaman that eventually is Thrall's number 2. So I'm thinking that that's central to Warcraft 3, because there are no real Horde in the Alterac Mountains. So that must be central to Warcraft 3, the Frostwolf. Drekthar had rekindled his connection with the elements, and he used them to keep his people safe. You also know that Thrall is trained as a shaman. Far from the Eastern Kingdoms, Cho'Gall and the Twilight's Hammer clan knew nothing of Draenor's fate. Even if they had, it wouldn't have mattered. The whispers of the old gods were calling to them. Cho'Gall and his followers sailed toward the distant continent of Kalimdor in search of their dark masters, eager to help them bring about the hour of twilight. Yeah, so he did escape whatever happened in the tomb of Sargeras. You also know that, in the Twilight, there's some... I'm trying to think in Kalimdor, like I do know that in Thousand Needles, especially the current day version, there's a lot going on there. Little sound effect. They did not know they were being followed. Garona had picked up Cho'Gall's trail, and she tracked the former Shadow Council member to the mysterious lands of Kalimdor. So that's neat too, because now you're going to have orcs in Kalimdor as well. Well, I guess you're going to have a lot of them, because the Twilight's Hammer is mostly orcs. but you're also having Garona over there, and you know she's a big part of, I don't know, maybe the Horde. All right, so we have a lot of cool, neat things to come. They're foreshadowing a lot of things to come. We still have one more thing to cover in Chronicle, and we're going to talk about next time just how Rexxar and how the orcs handle the immediate fallout in the novel. All right, this episode is in the pipes, 5x5. I thank everybody so much for listening. Hopefully you enjoyed the doggy squeaking, and I'll see y'all next time on Lore of Warcraft.